Hello, my name is Michael Nicula. I am running as a candidate in Durham region in the by-elections November 26, 2012, on behalf of the Online Party of Canada, the newest registered political party. I'm a 42 years old IT entrepreneur. I immigrated to Canada many years ago with my wife and my daughter, who's now a very promising teen student. And she's one of the reasons I entered politics. I want to make sure that when she finishes university, she will be out of debt and she will be able to form a family and give me some grandchildren. I have an accountant designation. I also have a degree in architecture. I have an executive MBA from University of Washington, and I also have a military background. I served in the Army. I've seen some combat, and I retired with the rank of lieutenant. Just like everybody else, I'm disgusted with the way the politics is run in Canada. A few years ago, I tried to enter the political arena in a normal way. I become a member of the Liberal Party when this was back when they were in power in Ottawa. I paid my dues, but nobody listened to what I had to say. I just left a few opinions in a Dropbox, but I never know where those opinions went. I was never given an option to vote on any of the big decisions that were made on my behalf as a member of the Liberal Party and also as a Canadian voter. I was disappointed with them, and then I switched over to the Conservative Party as soon as they got in power. And I also paid my membership dues there. I realized that my membership dues paid to the Liberal Party were used to run negative ads on the Conservative Party, and then the dues I paid to the Conservative Party were used to finance negative ads on Liberal Party. But the same story again. Nobody asked me what do I want. I was never given an option to vote. And I was just about to move over to the NDP or a Green Party, but then I realized that they're all the same. In the end, they're non-democratic parties where members, not even their own members, let alone the Canadian voters, have any say in any decisions that are being made. So this is how the Online Party of Canada's idea came about. I wanted to give Canadians and myself an option to vote, comment, express my opinion, have my say in every decision that's being made in Ottawa. So the website that we created, onlineparty.ca, we post on a daily basis all the bills that are being discussed in the Parliament, and not only our members, but any registered voter, be it Conservative, Liberal, NDP, or Independents, are free to comment, vote, and actually see how your vote is counted and being considered. Our representatives are compelled through a legal document that we put together. It's called the Accountability Oath. In any elected capacity, they would vote according to the will of the majority of the voters, not necessarily in line with what they believe. And we think this is actually democracy, if this is what we call true representation.
Could you tell me a little bit about what makes the Online Party so different from all the other parties in Canada? What is it that the Online Party brings to the table that hasn't been offered before?
There are 19 registered political parties, and 18 of them are exactly working in the same way. Yeah, they put together, so there's a group, the caucus, that put together a platform, a set of ideas that they kind of agree upon, and then they target a certain niche of the population that actually likes those ideas, which in every case it's a minority. And what they do then is they try to bargain to incorporate other things that they don't really necessarily agree with, but they want to they have to, because otherwise they won't be able to win an election. So, but as soon as they get elected, then they go back to their core agenda and they try to push that through legislation. Online Party of Canada does not care about anybody's personal agenda, and we don't have a set of ideas or a platform or anything like that. All we have is the concept of participatory democracy, where people come up with issues. The issues are being voted on based on popularity or how much people care about those issues, and the issues that rise to the top become legislative initiatives. And then we allow voters to vote, comment, exercise leadership by trying to persuade others to vote the same way they did through arguments, not through coercion.
Well, that's all good and well, but don't you think the political system might be too complicated for the average Canadian to participate in?
The political system, the political process is actually very, very simple. You may not be aware, but for example, last year there were only 37 bills passed by the government, and there were only 10 or so that were defeated. So in the course of a whole session, like a year, our elected officials, who we think they work so hard, they actually passed only 37 bills. And that's not a lot. I think an average Canadian can express their vote and opinion on those bills in a few hours, all of them. So it's really not that much.
What would you? How would Canada change if it were to build the kind of democracy you were talking about?
If we had today in Ottawa a majority government of the Online Party of Canada, first of all, the will of the majority of Canadians will be truly represented. There would be no influence from anybody else, not from a person, not from a lobby group, from an interest group whatsoever. Think about how many people go to jail for really smoking something. That if this was the same applied to tobacco, our country would be the whole country would be in jail. That's not fair.
So why you call yourself the online party? What is it about the internet that means? What is it about the internet that is going to change politics?
Political system, as we know it from 200 years ago, is a political system based on representation. And that's because 200 years ago, there was no way for people in Yukon, New Territory, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, be represented in Ottawa. There were no means of communication whatsoever. So they had to basically get together and elect one representative who would grab a horse and go to Ottawa and try to represent the interests of the community where they're coming from. Communications have changed a lot, but not enough. We can use phones, video interlinks, but now we can use the internet to basically communicate and to network across the country with amazing speed. We can pass legislation very fast. If you think about it, we really don't even need a parliament. If you think about it, people should be able to govern themselves if we have a very good system put in place. And this is what onlineparty.ca is trying to do. It's a proof of concept that this can be done. We can actually ask Canadian voters what they think on pretty much every issue, and then simply just do whatever they want, because they are the ones who pay the tax dollars that form our budget. So they should have a say in how we spend the budget.
So you've been on the campaign trail in Durham for about 2 weeks now, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
What have been the reaction of people to this new idea?
I knocked on many doors, and I have to say about half of the people answered the door, and as soon as they heard that it's something to do with politics, they slammed the door in my face and they said, "You guys are all a bunch of liars. I don't trust you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to have anything to do with you." And this is very sad. we live in Canada. This is a democratic society. We want people to be involved